Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Zack Grant here with the University of Illinois Extension and the Urban Ag Connected vlog series. Today is November 24th, 2020. It's been actually 2 months since I've done a vlog post. I really thought I was going to be able to do more of these starting this fall, but we've been running 3 simultaneous training programs, MUFTP and another workshop series and some food safety training. So finally getting some downtime. Finally going to be able to play some catch up and do more of these vlogs. So I'm out here today in our high tunnel at the South Suburban Cook County Urban Ag Demonstration Site, or SOSUCO as we call it. And I'm just going to give you a little update about what's going on in here. I think last time I gave you a little preview, and I want to start bringing you kind of updates on a more regular basis with the vlog series about what's going on at the demonstration site. Kind of seasonal trends, how plantings are doing, insect pest problems, technology, infrastructure, things like that. So, yeah, so we're out here today. It's kind of a cloudy, overcast day, but in the high tunnel, there's no wind. If it was a little sunnier out, it'd be much nicer, and I'd be able to take off my jacket. But I still have my jacket on here. I'm actually going to water after this and do a little bit of harvesting. Some of the stuff needs to be harvested. And I'll just kind of show you what's going on, what the plans are for the next upcoming couple months as we get into these colder months. We've only had a low temperature at this site, an ambient low temperature of around 24 degrees. And in the center of the high tunnel, I have 2 data loggers in here. It was 28 degrees that night, so 4-degree temperature difference at night. We'll talk more about extreme temperatures in a later vlog, but we haven't really gotten into the cold part of the winter yet to test out what's going on in here. So let's just take a look, give you a little preview of what we're seeing in here right now, and get you updated. Just kind of a nice little overview of inside of the tunnel. This is a 20 by 48 foot tunnel. We've got 4 30-inch wide beds. They're approximately about 35 feet long. We've taken, like I said in previous videos, a section here on the end that we're going to use for plant propagation. We're going to store some winter water storage capacity in here. Just kind of have this as a general multi-purpose staging area. And then some, all production here along the ends. Not the most efficient use of the bed space. We could get into some complex calculations about the most efficient bed width. But in this case, because this is for research and demonstration, I'm not super concerned about bed width. I was planning on squeezing 5 in, but as you can see here on the perimeter, I have about a 2.5 foot walkway on the outer portion here. And, if I would have made the path space a little bit narrower, I probably could have squeezed in another bed unit. However, I'm just going to keep it like this for now. Actually going to probably do some smart pot on this is the south side of the tunnel. Probably do some smart pot production here in late winter, early spring. We're likely going to be doing some CBD floral hemp trials in here. And we might actually put the floral hemp trial along this edge right here to take advantage of the space, because we'll probably do it in some of those growing containers rather than in the soil itself. But if you look back at the last video, you can really see the growth difference in here. These plantings in these 2 middle beds are the first plantings that we did, I think somewhere around the 2nd week of September. So we're looking at 60 plus days of growth here. Harvested from some of these beds 2-3 times. Donated most of this produce, and yeah, we're just going to keep harvesting in here, and probably through the winter months. What you'll notice here, right in this bed, I've started to put in some of these wire hoops. So we're not quite there yet, but I looked at the forecast, and on Monday, a week from yesterday, it's going to get down to, I think, 21 degrees. So the nighttime temperatures are getting close to below 20 degrees. And typically when that happens, that's when I'm going to come in here and put in a secondary low tunnel layer. So we will either use these wire hoops that you see here. These are 3/16 of an inch, really heavy duty. I think they're 6-gauge wire hoops. They're very strong. Or I'll use the 1/2 inch electrical metal tubing, depending. As you can see, some of these aren't quite, they're wide enough, but you can see some of the crop growth is sticking out of either end. And of course, over here, some of these kale and mustard greens transplants are likely too big for those wire wickets. With the low tunnels, it's generally understood that the closer the crop is, so there's less airspace, the more protection you get. Again, I don't have any solid data to back it up. That's just kind of a general sort of anecdotal evidence from a lot of growers that the less airspace you have between your low tunnel hoop and your crop, the more protection you get. If you have a really tall second low tunnel, then you might get less protection. We might experiment with both to see if that's true or not. This is my September 24th planting of medium-sized kale, baby kale leaves. This is KX1 and White Russian. This is 2 plantings of lettuce, September 24th, All-Star, and then this is the last direct seeding of leaf lettuce on October 14th. So as you can see, we're well past the 10-hour day length, and I don't know if we'll get much more growth out of this bed. You can see this planting from a couple weeks earlier. I've already harvested a little bit off this. This is a harvestable size that we can expect to continue to harvest through the winter, but this planting might not grow much more because we just don't have the day length at this point to make that happen. Same thing here with this spinach succession. So this is space. This was an October 14th planting, and this one actually, this is probably at a baby leaf stage that we can harvest. But you can see here, this space succession from October 2nd, so just almost 2 weeks earlier, is in a very nice position. And then here are some other salad green or cooking green components right here from a October 2nd planting that hopefully won't get too much bigger than this. Kind of hold it at this stage and harvest from it all winter. Of the crops in the tunnel right now, the most hardy are definitely the kale varieties. So this is a bed of kale bration mix. All the spinaches, those are definitely the most hardy. So we'll see what happens. Could talk a little bit about insect pests before we wrap up, or just pests in general. So one very common weed in the winter tunnel is henbit. So you can see henbit right here. I think that henbit dead nettle is another name for it. This survives pretty low temperatures, and I've got most of it cultivated pretty nicely, most of the beds. These 2 beds, this bed here of leaf lettuce right here and there, it got a little ahead of me. So this bed really actually probably should be picked up. It looks like we're starting to get a little bit of funky mildew action. Better check that out. Make sure it's not white mold, which it could be. But check that a little bit later. This could be just some regular mildew too. But these are the things. I mean, there are even problems in the high tunnel, even when we get into the winter months. So having good air circulation, having ventilation is still a good idea, even in the winter months, to keep the tunnel productive and healthy. We do have an aphid problem already, so not too surprising. I mean, you couldn't tell from looking at the crops, but if you kind of examine some of, particularly these spinach leaves carefully, you can start to see some aphids on here. Probably green peach aphid, potato aphid, not 100% sure on ID. I am seeing some parasitization, but this isn't the best time to introduce parasites because the temperatures are dropping. So I've tried to come in with a little bit of neem oil to stymie back the aphid pressure a little bit, but of course that could kill beneficials too. So aphids are a little bit of a struggle. I also wouldn't be surprised if the nitrogen fertilization that I apply, you can see everything in here is very green, very vigorous. That is actually maybe a little bit too much nitrogen in these crops, and that might be attracting the aphids. So something else, a cultural method to consider as well. But overall, everything is looking pretty good. We've been hand watering in here primarily from that tank. Don't have the overhead systems in place, or drip, obviously. because we have our main seasonal water turned off. But I can get some water storage for the minimal amount of water. I think I watered last Friday, and today's Tuesday, and you can see the beds are pretty wet still. I might do a little sprinkle in a couple spots just to get them through Thanksgiving. And then on Monday, I'll probably come in and evaluate, and then probably put some of the low tunnel crops in, maybe clear out some of these crops like this lettuce that looks like it might be starting to cause some potential mildewy problems. So just wanted to give you a few updates what's going on here, and hope everyone has a nice Thanksgiving, and we'll catch everybody next time. All right, hey everyone, this is just a quick update inside the high tunnel. It's November 30th, and the nighttime temperature is starting to dip pretty low, so we're getting into the low 20s starting tonight. So I'm coming in here and I'm experimenting with a new low tunnel. So rather than using the 1/2-inch electrical metal tubing, we're just going to use these lower hoops, these pre-bent hoops. This is 6-gauge 3/16 of an inch wire. You can see you've got a series of them running down. And we're going to just use this AJ19. It's one step up from the insect fabric for our low tunnel. I'm just going to experiment with it. For now, you can see over here, there's an area where the hoops aren't tall enough, and it's definitely going to come into contact with the fabric. So that'll be interesting to see when it gets really cold and the plant material comes in contact with the fabric. You can have damage where it does come in contact, where it actually freezes. But we're just going to experiment with it to see how it works rather than putting the larger hoops in here. So just a quick update, just to kind of show you what's going on. These two beds here, I'm just going to cover. This is actually a 10-foot wide roll, and because I have these additional metal buttresses in here, I'm just going to fold this 10-foot roll kind of in half, essentially, to cover these individual rolls on the outside for now. So just wanted to show you what this looks like, and we'll keep you updated as to how this works. All right, we'll talk to everyone soon.